Hey everybody, it's me, Carrie, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Farmington Hills, Michigan, here with another pre-recorded video for you today. Let's get the business out of the way. If you want to go shopping for any Stampin' Up! Products, go to my website, MemoryINKers.com. That'll take you directly to my Stampin' Up! Website, where you can find the sale on the suites, which is awesome, and the all the online extras that are there, and anything that might be in the last chance sections. So that's where you want to go. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the Sweet Jar bundle. And I will tell you that coming up in the fall/holiday catalog, or actually, I think it might be an online extra coming very soon. There is going to be another like Christmassy winter version of this. So if you want to get the punch and this stamp set, because it's going to end up going fast, because now we're going to have double reason to have the punch. So this is what we're using today. We're going to use, of course, the punch that goes with it. I've got two circle stamps here. This is 1.5 inch. This is 1 3/4 inch. They are available online, but I know a lot of you guys are like me and you just have a lot of circle punches. So, all right, let's get started here. We are going to use a little bit of strawberry slush, just a little, and we're going to use some balmy blue and pecan pie. And then I will tell you, I have already pre-created this piece right here. Let me see if I can get that close enough for you guys to see. How cute is that with jelly beans in it? So I pre-did this one because it's a little time consuming. And I will tell you that I used markers to color it directly onto the stamp. But I colored these in just to test it. But see how they looked? They did not look at all like I expected them to look. So I went and got the markers and went over them. And here I used the same color that I stamped with, but it looked too brown. So practice. But I do recommend that you do this. You color them all in so you can see where the jelly beans are. And then go ahead and use your markers to go over them. I actually kind of like, let me see if you can see this. Here, let me try this kind of zoom, because maybe you'll get better lighting that way. Yep. See how some of them have like speckles? That was caused by doing this version. It gave me the speckles, and then when I colored them in, the speckles still, I mean, like this one, I love it. And these, they kind of look like those fancy jelly beans. So yeah, just wanted you guys to know. Now, I am going to be doing the cookie one. So let me squeeze back down here. All right. So I also have some pieces of balmy blue as my base. I have an extra piece of balmy blue that I'm going to use to punch out a circle. I have some of the Country Woods. That's going to be my background. And then just a scrap of white for what I am going to be doing. And I needed this because I'm going to be doing some stamping off. So, I have the jelly bean one out, but I'm not going to be using that. All right. So, where am I starting with? Oh, it's the same. That's what I was going to tell you. This is the same one. This is the jelly beans. It's also the cookies. Yep. It is. But here is my tip. I was playing with these, and I'm going to see if I can get them right. But if you can see, it's hard to stamp them and get the chocolate chips into the cookie. So what I'm doing, and that's what happened when I stamped them straight. I don't know what I was doing there. I have no idea. So I'm going to stamp the chocolate chips first and see if I can get the cookie then to fit correctly. So my head is going to get in the way, just so you know. So I have to make sure I have enough room for the whole jar down here. I do. Okay. So I am going to start with the little chocolate chips. And you will see that it does fit. I know you probably can't tell, but you'll have to trust me. This pointed part here matches this jelly bean here. Okay? So I'm going to ink these up, and full strength, I am going to stamp them right there. So now I've got all my chocolate chips. So all of a sudden I had this really weird thought that this wasn't taping. I don't know why. So now I'm going to stamp up the cookies, but I don't want to stamp them full strength, or they're going to be this dark and my chocolate chips will disappear and they'll be burnt chocolate chip cookies. So I'm going to stamp it off. Now here's where my head's going to come in. I am going to do my darndest to get all those chips inside the cookies. Ta-da! Okay, I got a little bit there. That's okay. It's going to look just like a cookie crumb. Actually, it is there. Ha! So, not my fault. See? It's part of the design. All right, so I've got that. Now I want to do the jar. And for the jar, I need my black. And I didn't grab it. Hold on, hold on. I just put it away. There it is. I found it. So I'm going to use my Memento ink pad, and I'm going to stamp up the jar, ink up the jar, and then I'm just going to place it so the cookies are, oh, look at that cookie didn't come out very well. It's got extra sugar on it or something. I'm going to do that. I'm going to see if I can fix that. Don't, oh, look, I can still see it's on there. Let me see. That's terrible. We're going to do it over. Ha! Double-sided paper, the most awesome thing on earth, right? Yep. But I put my ink pad away. So let's do that again. See, you're just getting double learning today. That's all. All right, start with the chocolate chips. Then I'm going to ink this off. And this time, hopefully, I get the chips right again because I got them really good that last time. Ta-da! Not bad. There's a couple that didn't make the grade, but it's all right. It's okay. All right. Let me ink this jar up again. Hopefully that splooch isn't in my way. I don't think it is. Looking to see if it's on my hands. I don't think so. Now I'm going to stamp the jar. Pardon my head. There we go. All right. Now, this is just some blue. I wanted in the background, kind of make it look a little bit more like glass, right? So I squeezed my Balmy Blue ink pad. So I have some ink on the bottom. And I'm using my water brush. And I'm just grabbing a little, and I'm going to start over here to see. That's pretty dark. So I'm going to keep that on the edges. And then it disappears so fast. So you really have to do this kind of quickly. And I want to get a little bit here at the bottom, but not too much here at the bottom. Just to add a little bit. I'm not worried about in between. That's okay. And it is what I did with the jelly beans, in case you're wondering. And I'm not worried about, I'm just not worrying about streaks. Because the jar is kind of got a shape to it, it's okay with me. See how I'm moving it kind of in a slight curved edge like that. And then I will take it and I will get lighter. Add a little water. And kind of blend it out. So that I can get the look that I want. Now this is regular paper, so you're going to want to be careful. Of course you can do this on watercolor paper. And I see where a little bit of it bled out a little bit. That's okay. But see, now I've got that, and I've got a little bit of the water color look. And the jar does look different. It probably will look different even when it's done, but this one's dry, that one isn't. So that'll make a slight bit of difference. And you know you can get the water painters on Stampin' Up. These are our old ones. I have the new ones too, but I don't know why. This one has water in it, so I grabbed it. All right. Now I'm going to just punch this out. And it does have the jar on there. Part of me wishes it didn't, honestly, because I'm going to show you a card in a minute that I had to literally, I cut out the hole because I didn't want the jar lid to be there. So just line it up. There you go. But interestingly, I may decide that I want this. I'm debating on something, so I'm going to punch another one. I don't want any ink on it. All right. So, because I don't know yet if I'm using it. So that is it for the punch. Now I'm going to want to stamp a sentiment, which I am going to cut out with the circle punches. So I have a scrap of basic white, but I think I'm going to use this one just to make sure I have enough room. And I'm going to start with the Memento ink. This is cool because I didn't know that this was all one stamp. You'll see what I mean in just a minute. I thought it was two, and I'm like, how am I ever going to get those to match up the way I want it? Well, you don't have to think that hard. Yay. It's got sending you a little, and then it's got all those words. All those words. Like party, luck, love, sweetness. You could probably even put sending you a little happy birthday. So I just like that. But I'm going to use the word sweetness just because it's candy and cookies. And if I were to be giving this to a friend, I would probably add it with a basket of some really good cookies. Not necessarily homemade, because I don't make homemade cookies. I used to, but I don't make fancy ones. I have friends who make the most gorgeous cookies, and they're homemade, and they taste so good. Lindsay and Celeste, if you are watching, cookies, good. Great gift for your friend, Carrie. All right, so now I'm going to take this sweetness. Hold on, I got to bring it where I can see a little better. Look how cute that is. Isn't that great? Oh gosh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So I'm going to take the 1.5 inch punch, and I measured it so it should fit. It does. Yay. There we go. Now, if I wanted to, I could have stamped some hearts and stuff at the bottom of this. That would have been cute too, but I'm not gonna. So, but you can see how versatile this is. This is great, like for Valentine's Day, or for gifting, or for making little tags. Just awesome. All right, so I'm going to adhere this onto this scrap of Balmy Blue. Oh, I didn't clean these off. Huh. I didn't clean them off from the last time I used them. Oopsie. They tend to get a little goopy when you do that. But I was probably letting them dry, and then I didn't set them back down. So I'm just going to slap that on there. And then I'm going to grab my 1 3/4 punch. This one will come. See how it says new style? It's going to come like this one. But I had this whale tail. And why would you rebuy it? I don't care if I'm a demonstrator. I'm supposed to sell you and have all the latest and greatest. Yeah, 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 yeah. You guys are not dumb. You guys understand how it works. And I'm willing to bet you guys have a lot of whale tail punches. So I like putting the word on there, the sentiment on there first whenever I can, because I feel like I can better center it. Okay, so I have my pieces. I also have a little strip of designer series paper here that I am going to use. So we definitely want the inside. I didn't do the inside. Don't ask me why. I know not. Is this cut right? Yep, it is. Okay. There we go. So on the inside, I'm not doing it, but I think it would be really, really cute to do on some basic white. A row of the jelly beans or a row of the cookies would be very cute on there. I did not do that for you. Sorry. But I gave you the idea, so yay! Take what you can get, peeps. Okay. So, did you guys see the video I posted for last week where I made a boo-boo with where I put the ink, and I was able to use the tiny brush from this set to get in behind? I used this little one. I'm telling you, I like these things way more than I thought I would. Really, really do. I don't know that there's an uppie or a downy on this. I just made a decision. Okay, so there is that. Now, this is going to be my shelf. So I was trying to decide, glue it flat or pop it up. And I've decided to pop it up. And, you know, we sell the long strips of this, but this came in a kit. So I'm just using it because why not? So there, and is that too long? It is. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this piece. And then just another little dimensional here, just so that it has a more solid base. All right, cover that. So now I have my shelf that I'm going to put my jars of treats on. And I do have lids. Now you saw me punch a couple of white ones. Those are not going to be for the lids of the jars. So I'm going to lift that up a little bit so it kind of looks like it's on a wall, you know, like at a cookie shop or something. Bakery would be the word for that. Okay, so I've got that, but what I have here is, I originally popped these out because I was going to do a wood stand, but then I decided to do this shelf, so then I was thinking of a gold stand, but I'm also thinking of a white stand. And when I say stand, this is what I mean. If you put them together, it looks like a cake stand, right? So I'm just kind of, that doesn't show up enough. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the gold. And I'm going to put, I think I'm going to use a glue dot because this is, it's going to be sticking gold to the back. So sometimes you got to have a lot of different adhesives. This is something men don't get. Yes, I do need every single adhesive in my craft room. When you guys see the card I'm going to show you, I was going to make it for you, but it took me a while. So I'm just going to show it to you and explain it to you. So now I don't know about how straight I'm going to get this, but I'm going to give it the old college try to get it straight. And I'm kind of lining them up, but I'm making it not like perfect circle to circle. I don't want it too crooked. So there we go. I think it might have stuck to my glass mat. It did. So now I need some little tiny, I need the small, dimensionals. Golly. Very scary, like seriously scary. So I am going to make a strip that will go on the top. And it's too long. Yes, I know it's too long, but I'm putting it on there. Okay, and then for the bottom, I'm going to glue it to the shelf. So I don't want to dimensionalize that, but I am going to put a little bit here to just to help hold them together, if that makes sense. And because I'm cheap, I'm going to save that little bit. All right, so now I just need to make sure I know what I'm doing. So I'm putting that just in place there for just a minute. Yep. Put a little bit of liquid glue right down here. This does look a little crooked. But hey, the bake shop has been around for a very long time, and so perhaps their great grandma or whoever once had it dropped it, and so it's a little bit crooked. Sometimes I just make up stories to make me feel better, you guys. Sometimes it helps. Okay, so now I have that. So what I want to do is I'm going to put these onto my jars, these two wood ones, because it kind of goes with the theme of this little shop, right? They have wood walls, they have a wood shelf. So, and you know that these kind of jars often do have a wood top, so it seems appropriate. Okay, there's the jelly bean. And here are the cookies. This one's still a little damp, so it might give me a little trouble, but we're going to hope not. And when I punched these out, I purposely looked for parts in the wood design of the DSP that had dark lines. Because, you know, when you have these things for a while, after a while, they start to crack. The wood starts to have like little crack lines in it. Also, I'm curving these just a little bit because it is, after all, a jar, right? So now I have to decide. I think I'm going to put the jelly beans down here and the cookies up here. That's what I think. And I have to say, I did see an extremely similar card. Extremely similar card. Let me replace that again. An extremely similar card on a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator website. And I apologize, I do not remember the name of the person who made it. I believe possibly she was from, I want to say she was from Australia. But I see so many that I can't swear to that. So now I'm going to set this on here. And you notice I just put dimensionals here because I kind of want to keep that curve going. Okay. So I'm going to set it so it's on the gold base. There we go. And then I'm going to do this one the same, but I'm not going to put one down here because it's going to be up there, and I don't want it to bump funny. So I'm only going to put 2 on this one. Notice that I put a dimensional so that it was grabbing the little lid too. This is a see-through jar. Kidding. Just kidding. And I am not going to put any adhesive on the bottom for the same reason. I kind of want to keep the curve. Kind of want to keep that curve going. So that is going to go farther down on the shelf or into the shelf. Where this one is right on the edge of the shelf. Probably should have been the other way around, but, you know, that's how it goes. And then I'm just going to put Sending a Little Sweetness Your Way right there. So I'm going to put 3 dimensionals on that. You could definitely add some bling if you wanted to. And I'm going to show you a jar that I did that looks like gumballs. So I love it. But it was time consuming, so. Okay. There you go. Check that out. Isn't that fun? This is such a fun little set. And like I said, there's a holiday one coming up. So you may want to think about that. Okay. So now for my other one, I'm going to put this away in a minute. I use the same Designer Series paper, but I use the rainbow adhesive backed dots. Okay. And this was a bit of a pain. Okay. But I stamped the jar on here. And then I like poked a hole into I already had this DSP on there. Kind of looks like a table, right? And I poked a hole through and then I cut it out by hand. Then this, of course, is on a window sheet tucked behind here. And then these are on a piece of white because you can see this is on paper. So I needed a piece of white and I stamped the jar again on the white. See if you guys can see this. I'm going to zoom again for you. I'm hoping you guys can see how you can see the lines on the inside. Probably not. But I just crammed it full of those adorable dots. And then I had some spill out onto the counter. I know that this is crooked. I was going to take it off and try to fix it. But this is DSP and it didn't want to let me. And the reason it's there is because I stamped this exact same thing underneath, but it didn't stamp right. So, and I had already done all that cutting and I was not going to do that again. So anyway, and then I didn't do anything on the inside of this card yet either, but these are my 2 fun cards made with the Sweet Jar bundle. So cute. I really hope you guys like it. Again, I'm Carrie Beglow, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Farmington Hills, Michigan. If you love this suite, remember, sweets, this is a bundle. So if you were buying a suite, like the last video I showed you is a suite, was the Butterflies suite. If you bought that suite, you can buy this bundle and get it half price. Or buy a whole nother suite and get the whole suite half off. Just remember, watch how watch the amounts, because if you put like some bling that's in a suite, it's going to take half off the bling because it's going to take whatever's the least amount. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer. Again, shopping for Stampin' Up, MemoryInkers.com. That is my Stampin' Up website. Have a blessed day. Bye.